Welcome to From the Pitch to Purpose. Pew, 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 pew. That was my own sound effect, if you couldn't tell. I am Sammy B. My government name is Samantha Brand. I also go by Sam, Sammy, Samo, Schmo, Bubba, Samwise Gamgee. I've been called a professional soccer player. I've most recently started writing, so I've been an author, published author. Whoop, whoop. I have been called a speaker. I have been called a poet. I have been called gorgeous, mostly by my mom. But my favorite name is Mommy. But my least favorite name is Widow. That is one of the transitions you're going to hear about in this podcast. This podcast is called From the Pitch to Purpose, and it's just going to be about every life transition that my family and friends go through. These are going to be people just like you and me, not celebrities, well, there might be some because we're hoping Oprah just responds to my Instagram live. But honestly, I cannot wait to share my favorite people with you. So, welcome to From the Pitch to Purpose. This is part 2 with Emily Butler, and she is so magnificent, and we get really into it right now. So enjoy part 2. If you haven't listened to part 1, go back and listen to that. So what kind of things did you do to get out of those moments, those big moments of transition where because you had mentioned that you were like, it was an emotional transition for you more than anything.
Yeah.
What do you think helped you continue?
My husband. Um, I think like laying in bed every single night and like being so down on myself, thinking everyone's gonna say like "told you so."
Yeah.
See, shouldn't have done it because it's hard, and you have to keep betting on yourself, and you have to keep taking risks, and you have to keep trying everything. I think of like it was like Danny DeVito was in this interview, and he said um that he took every single part he was offered. And it's kind of like that, where like if somebody comes to me and says like, hey, you want to do this, or hey, have you thought about this? At the beginning, if I could afford it, I would always say yes. So it was always and it was really scary. It was easier when I didn't have a kid, and I wasn't, you know, I don't know if I would be that brave now to take some of the risks. And I definitely lost a lot of money on some of them, and some of them I did all right. So you live and you learn with those things, and I think that taking those risks gives you something to live for, even if you do fail, quote fail. The fact that you did it and you saw it through and you took notes and you moved on from it, I think that that's a really important. I think that it's a lot easier to give up when you stop taking those risks and stop betting on yourself just because, like what else do? You just sit there and sulk if it's not working. So, and my husband really helped me a lot with that. So,
Absolutely. And the betting on yourself, it's crazy because I just said that exact sentence to my mom a few months ago. I'm like, because I'm doing all these entrepreneurship adventures, whatnot, and we were talking about financials, and I'm talking about how obviously moving back here, I started from ground zero. Like I was in Sweden, and I had just gotten my dream job. I had gotten my dream job, and I was really nervous about it, but it was something that I had manifested for a few years, and then boom, my dad got sick, and I'm like, I'm going home. I'm going home. Like I can't
wait,
not.
where were you?
I was in Sweden.
Well, where are you now then?
I'm in California now.
Oh, okay. So you got your dream job in Sweden or California?
Sweden.
Wow. Okay.
So yes, my husband passed in June. I went back there, did a lot of the everything, and then I came back here just to have like a July and everything. And my job was moving forward pretty quickly, so I went back August after my husband passed. So June, July, August. Someone said it's okay for you to go back home alone. Like I'm like, why was that okay? I should have been swaddled in my mother's arms for another 6 months. Like I should not have gone back home. But that was a big bet on myself in the sense that I was voluntarily moving back to a country in which my lifeline, which was my husband, was no longer going to be there. I was starting a big job, da 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 da. And then a few months later, rug pulls out again. I'm back home because I'm like, I can't not be with my dad. He just got diagnosed with cancer. They said they don't know how long he's going to be here. So I came right back, and then I started at ground zero again. And that's actually where the sewing came in. I wanted a job in which I can do out of the home because I was primary, almost primary. My mom and I were both primary caretakers of my dad, you know. And I also got a subbing job at his school so that when those days that he had to pull out really quickly, I can go sub for him because I know music, I can teach his classes easily. So I was doing a lot of these odd jobs, and I realized I was obviously in survival mode, but I never clicked out of it. So my dad passed May of last year, and I just never clicked out of it. I was still kind of trying to get the scrap jobs and like staying home. I wasn't seeing anybody. But then I started like, maybe I want to do this dance fitness thing. And I started doing that. But again, scraps here and there. I really thought like, I'm going to create a life for myself, And my mom was like, you can live here. I want you to live with me. I had another person in the household in case I needed to run out of the house and go get milk or something like that. I didn't have to get the kid in the car, everything like that. And then my mom had this big conversation with me about like, I want you to start doing this, this, and this. And like, it was like one of those, it was almost like I was 17 turning 18 and she was about to kick me out of the house kind of thing. And I was like, I thought you said I can, do this. And okay. And then I sat back and I was like, you know what? It's time. I'm not as fragile. I feel stronger. I feel more excited about life. I want to build a life. I want to do this. So I started applying everywhere. I took my NASM test. I passed first time, which I was like, what? I barely studied for that thing, but it's also my major. And my mom comes back to me the next day after she gave me that like pretty swift kick in the ass. She goes, you know what? You're the only one of us who did exactly what you said you were going to do. I was like, what? And she's like, you were 9 when you decided to be a professional soccer player, and you did it. And I was like, yeah, I have 100% accuracy at this point. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the child. If I say I'm going to do this career, I'm going to do it. But that feeling of betting on myself in something that I haven't studied for 30 years, you know what I mean? Being a novice and betting on that, betting on like the unknown is a different animal. It's a different feeling. It's a lot more anxiety. It's a lot more fear. It's a lot more. And I could go coach at a university level right now. I can go be, coach here. I can bring soccer back into my life. Like you could probably go be a dance teacher. You know what I'm saying? But like, it was like I knew soccer had played a certain role in my life and it got me to where I was. But I needed something else. I needed to move forward. I needed to like, my body's also tired. Like, bro, like my body is so tired. And I could be a coach and be on my feet for all the
I'm the same way. I'm just tired. I don't want to go back to that place. Now that I've left it, I'm like, it can stay there. I appreciate it. It was great for me. It will always be so important, but I can't just, it's a lot. And when I see people that are still doing that kind of thing, like, I'm sure if you saw a soccer coach, at your age right now, you'd have more respect for them. And like, same with me, like my friends that are still dance teachers and that are still moms and stuff. I'm like, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it because it like, I think that it was too emotionally taxing and physically taxing for me personally. I think that it was just too much. So I think that understanding yourself and what your needs are is, again, another part of just growing up and getting older and going like, hey, you know what? I don't want to have a panic attack every time I have to go on stage.
There you go. And I internalized what coaches said to me. I internalized how my teammates were. I internalized so much. Empaths are just, it's a blessing and a curse. Like, I will immediately know when someone's mad at me when I walk into a room. I'm hypersensitive in those ways. So that means that when I walk into a room full of 20-something teammates, I'm going to go to that person. And I can't be on a team without being that person. Like, I can't just come and play. I don't know how to do that. So I give a lot of myself emotionally. And that was something during my grieving period where I would come to a training, and if I didn't smile, everyone was uncomfortable because Sam is love, light, happy, da-da-da. And I remember the first training I came back after my husband passed, I had to tell the captain, like, tell the team not to ask me about it. I don't want hugs. I don't want this because I'm fragile. For one, I will cry. And another, I know what they're expecting of me. The Sam they're expecting, I can't be her, but I really need to move my body today. I really need to do something and feel great at it. So I want to come to training. I did it, couldn't go back for like weeks. I'm like, I can't be in that environment and not be Sam. Like I can't do that. Like I want people to like I want to give myself to people, and but there wasn't enough of me at the time. There just wasn't enough. And that's the same thing as a coach. I'm going to think about every one of my kids when I go to bed. I'm going to, hope that they're okay. I'm a mother to all of them. You know what I mean? Like, I can't not be that coach either. So I know emotionally it can't be the road I'm on right now. Like, it
Yeah.
could right now. Maybe in 10 years, when I'm like, back in my day, we used to kick the ball this way. You know what I mean? Maybe. But like, and
Yeah.
everybody asks me if I'm going to coach my kid, if my kid's going to play soccer. And I'm like, I had a soccer mom coach. I
Oh, really? Yeah.
had a soccer dad mom. So, like, all those things you see with the soccer dad, that was my mom. And I know that I remember my sister was like, yeah, but it was so cool. We had our mom at practice. I was like, you know what? Yes, it was amazing. And honestly, I know that gave me a lot of opportunities in soccer, having my mom as my coach and everything. And I respect her as a coach so much. But I don't know that I want that as my relationship with my daughter. I
I see.
might just want to be on the sideline going, woohoo, wow, like how my dad was. My dad literally was like, you played awesome today. I was like, Dad, I missed every shot I took, but you ran a lot. And it was that easy to impress my dad. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. No,
I just want to
I
do
get
that.
that.
So I
I
think, yes, I want her to play soccer, but it's like, I don't know if I'll be able to contain myself because I'm very fucking competitive. Like, I'm really competitive.
yeah. I get what you mean. I actually am considering putting her in dance, and that was one thing I just like never. I was like, I'm not going to put my kid in dance unless they expressly tell me I want to dance. And I think it's because I still have a lot of trauma from it. I still have like, it's not easy being in front of a mirror judging your body every single day as a child, and then other people judging your body every day as a child when you are supposed to be doing something artistic and creative. And I think like I had a lot of like cognitive dissonance with that, where it was like even judging, because I judged for so many years. And a part of me just wanted to be their cheerleader and to stop being critical. These are kids. I know that these kids want to get better, and I definitely want to help them become better and become the best versions of themselves. And I want them to be good, and I want them to do what I know they're capable of doing. But at the same time, it's like I also want them to know that I love them. And like really, when it comes down to competition, like if you were living your best life on that stage and you fell or you barfed, as long as you were like living, I
Yeah.
because that's what's important about it. And I didn't want to put her in that situation unnecessarily where she had a hard time with anything. Of course, you just want to like hug and protect your children at all costs. And same thing, like there's injuries that can happen with soccer and things like that too. So there's like, it's another like danger element that's very
And
different, but
physical danger, but also that emotional danger you're talking about. For me, like,
absolutely.
I had a coach once who just like I just thought hated me. Like I was like, I don't understand how much I was 12. I don't understand why he hates me so much. But he would play me. But he just treated me really poorly, was very standoffish, and I was just like a happy-go-lucky kid. And I remember my mom, she taught us very young. It didn't matter if it was an adult or a kid or anyone. Like if someone has a problem, you have a problem with someone, go talk to them. Like that was our thing. So she brought me to training to talk to him, and he goes, he started crying. He was, I really like you guys, but I got caught in a situation where I was being, comforting a kid, and the mom saw it and called whatever on me. So it was like that kind of environment where it's like, huh? Like,
Yeah.
huh? And so I was like, oh, he goes, I would give you hugs all the, but I just can't do that anymore. And that was the environment that I was in. And, but what it did to me before I found out that, I would go home and be like, this guy hates me. Like, oh, I must have to run harder, da da da, or, and then even as an adult in my professional career, like I had these last couple coaches like bench me. And then one of them said, he goes, well, I was giving high fives on the way out of the locker room and you didn't give me one. And I was like, if you know me, first of all, high fives are my jam. So it was obviously an accident. If you would have just tapped me and been like, give me a high five, I would have been like, sweet. He benched me for the next 3 games before he talked to me. I'm a grown ass woman too. So imagine that mentality as a kid. Like just not knowing. I went from starting playing 85, 90 minutes, everything, and you benched me. You wouldn't even look at me for 3 weeks before you talked. And I had to come talk to you. And he said that I did it twice. And I'm like, but like, actually, like, check that reality because you see that I'm like, love and da da da. I would never not high five. That's so petty.
Yeah.
It was so petty, you know? And I told him, I was like, you know, that day that you said that, I was like, I got kicked out of Sweden right after I got married. So I got married, went to my honeymoon, and the day after we got back, I had to leave to start my marriage visa application process. And then I went straight to Ireland, and this is where I had that coach. And so I was like, that day, I was just having a really hard day. So I was just trying not to cry. Not because I was mad at you or not starting whatever. I was just having a hard day. So it had nothing to do with you. And he goes, oh, okay. I'm like, you had all this small dick energy. Sorry. It was just so bad. But those were the things and that was as an adult, you know? And so, like, yeah, that feeling of wanting my daughter, I want her to have a passion.
Same.
I really do. But
I get it.
yeah.
I
But
get
okay,
it.
so what do you think your biggest accomplishment has been? Like that first thing that just popped into your head.
Uh,
That one.
my biggest accomplishment is definitely having my daughter. For
Yeah?
sure. It's a cop-out answer,
No,
though.
that's exactly, a friend of mine said that I don't want to say my kids, but my kids. I'm like, say your kids. Like that's okay.
I know. And I honestly feel like even my husband would say the same thing. Like when you're a parent, honestly, being able to look at her and go like, holy shit, I did that.
I made her eyeballs in my stomach.
I grew her fingernails in my stomach.
Her whole brain.
I know, her brain. I ate food and a brain grew. Like I know. And also I don't know. It's one of the coolest things you never realized you were capable of until you do it. And then you're like, oh, this is what everybody keeps talking about.
I got it.
Like all that shit that people say, like, you know, how rewarding it is and how great it is. It's all true, unfortunately. Like I know it's so typical and silly and you just don't know it until you do it. And I think that something really rewarding is being able to have her with me during the day and still run the business. So I also am very privileged that I have two grandparents that live close. And another, actually, Derek's mom just moved like 12 minutes down the street. And I know I'm so privileged. I really am. I understand. So it's great that I can call on them and I have that support system. So I know that my circumstances are different from other people's, but it is still at the same time something I'm really proud of with this accomplished. Like that I feel so accomplished to have had my daughter and to raise my daughter and also have another one. You know what? That's probably it. Now having one brewing
To be brave
one,
enough.
yeah. To do it again. Or brave, is that the word? Silly enough, perhaps. It's not stupid. It's not irresponsible. It's just like it's a little silly, but it's just like I don't know. You meet one of them and you're like, what if we did it again? What if we just did it one more time? And
just one more time. Well, also you forget all the stages that you're not in anymore. And I told Lynn's was like, Sam, why didn't you tell me about this 4 month? I was like, I forgot. Like, I just really, like, once she had this down, I moved on, and that is the furthest. They say that right when you give birth, you forget about the pain. It's true. It's true.
It's true. I got an epidural, and no shame with that. Like, everybody who's like, well, I had a natural birth. I'm like, and where's your trophy? Because I still pushed for 5 hours to get this human out of my stomach. And anyway, it's
all births are valid. All
100%. C-sections, C-section mommies, like after seeing what my friends have gone through with C-sections, I'm like,
cut open, like the whole thing. The fact that that is okay to do to a human being, to get another human being out of them,
blows my mind. And then for them to go like, all right, now here's your baby and go home after major abdominal surgery.
After literally cutting through all your layers. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. Yeah. And also the pushing out, it's all crazy. It's all,
Oh,
and
crazy.
you lied and said it's 9 months because we all know it's 10. 40 is 4 weeks, it's 10. It's 10 months. You are pregnant for 10 months.
I never thought about it like that.
You're pregnant for, you make it to 40 weeks, am I wrong? And that is 10 months. And I just want, I write a letter. It's probably a man who decided that it's 9 months and we're going to tell everybody no. Because that first month, I immediately knew my boobs were very, very sore. I couldn't smell ground beef anymore. Like, you're pregnant that first, like, you're
Yeah.
pregnant. You are impregnated.
Yeah.
But
Impregnated.
impregnated. You are highly impregnated. Highly. Okay, tell me your favorite quote.
Um, ooh. I have a lot of favorite quotes. One that I always go back to and I try to like implement in my day to day is, I think it was Picasso. He said, I don't want to get this wrong. Learn the rules like a pro and then break them like an artist. And I just like,
Girl.
I know, right?
Girl.
And when I read that, I was like, oh shit, that's incredible. Because like, if you think about it and I do that with my business too, where it's like, well, maybe this isn't how everybody else does it. And like, oh, well, your logo or your brand shouldn't have any color on it. It should look like this. And it's like, oh, fuck that.
Yeah.
I know that is the rule. I know that that's trendy. I know that is what sells right now, but like, can we just like, can we twist it, turn it upside down, put it in slow motion, and then like, I don't know, rewind it and see what happens? Like, because that's when the magic happens. So that, I don't know. I love that quote. I
That
love
is
that.
an amazing quote.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to write that onto my vision board.
Yeah.
Do it the way you want to do it, but like obviously do it professionally.
Right. You still have to go through, the education of it, not necessarily school, but like educate yourself on whatever you're going to do so you know how to do it, period. You know how to do it. Not necessarily well, but you know how to do it. You understand what the goal is. And then don't do any of that shit and
And
do
be
it your
you,
own
boo boo.
way.
Be you, boo boo.
You don't know what rules you can break until you learn them. So like, you have to be a professional and then you have to go, I'm not going to be a professional. And if somebody emails me and uses any sort of corporate language, you're going to get an email back with exclamation marks and happy faces because I'm not about that life.
Yeah.
I'm a woman, first of all. I'm not a robot. And if you want to talk to me, I'm going to be your best friend because why not?
Because why not? Yeah, that's something that I've noticed that I'm very passionate about is like being me in every avenue. Like, I think that, so in getting into sewing, I try to do it the way all these other women are doing it. And first of all, they have husbands' money. They've got husbands' money and it's not just their own income. So I can't compete with that. Like, I got me and mine. So when I realized, I'm like, I'm just going to do what I want to do when I want to do it,
And how you want to do it.
how I want to do it. It got way easier.
Yeah.
And also, I think that stems from not having validation from other people, not needing it, or who you're looking for validation from. Because, I mean, honestly, it is human nature to want validation, affirmation from people. That is human nature to be like, am I doing okay? And getting an outside source being like,
Well,
yeah.
otherwise, why would we have gone into these professional things like soccer or, dance? It's like, obviously I want to be good at it. I'm not going to like what I'm doing if I suck at it.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, of course. I want somebody to say like, "Oh, that was great."
Which is one of the trippiest things about being a mom. Coming from an athlete background to becoming a mom who there's no one giving you high fives. Like there's
Okay, I was going to ask, what do you mean? But absolutely,
the
yes.
only way that we know we're doing a good job, first, if our kid's not an asshole, and second, if they're alive. That's
If they're alive.
that's the rubric. Did she eat today? High five, Sam. Like,
Yeah. And right now,
walking around with shit in her diaper, you're doing it. But there's for that first year, you don't know if you're doing it right. You don't know if you're doing anything. They give you an entire human, and they're like, "Good luck with that."
yeah. Hey, don't kill it. And you're like, brilliant.
That's the only rule. That's the only rule. Got it.
And like I think that so many industries just thrive on telling you that you're already doing it wrong and that this is how you should do it, like the sleep training industry, which now I hate. And they even got my money too at one point because I was so sleep deprived. And I was just like, you know what? I can't do it. We got to do it. We got to spend money. We got to figure out how. And then we're like watching it and I'm like tearing up because I'm like, I'm not doing this to my child. And come to find out, like all of these things that she's doing with her sleep are absolutely normal, evolutionarily normal. Like this is what humans are supposed to fucking do. Humans
Yeah.
are carrier animals. I'm supposed to carry my child. They
Mhm.
want to be on me, and that's okay because one day they're not going to want to be and they're going to hate me for a brief moment. um Hopefully never. Hopefully I'll always,
I still sit on my mom's lap, so there's hope for us yet.
like no, totally. You have to kind of figure out where you really are, like maybe you need help, or maybe you could be doing things better. Or is it just that somebody wants you to think you're not doing a really good job, so you'll pay for something? And you're not going to get high fives, because if you were doing parenting perfectly, then nobody else could tell you, well, back in my day, or spend $300 on my sleep training platform.
But yes, I like that. I like that. I think that Picasso had it right, and that had to have come from an artistic mind, and it really did. But I think learning your craft first, I think that's something people don't do. They're like, oh, I'm just gonna wing it, and that, I mean, people can get things done. I did a lot in my first month or something of sewing, winging it, and then I realized
Right,
I am losing a lot of money. So I learned things, and now I can wing it. So I
right,
never thought of that order as being in the
right. And I think that that also stops people from making that big transition, is to go like, well, I don't know enough about it right now, so I'm just not going to do it. And it's like, okay, well, yes, you don't, maybe you don't, and you do need to learn more about it, but start messing up right now so you figure out how to do it correctly, so then you can end up doing it how you want later. But like, it is really scary to start that transition to go into something when you are going to just be winging it at first. And I was totally winging this at first. Absolutely. And then you go, you know what? I gotta start changing things. I have to start making money. I like, this is way too scary. I have to start betting on myself. And then as you start betting on yourself, you start to learn more. You start to do more research. You start to call on professionals, or like people that are already in the industry, or friends, or just like whoever, to give you some sort of guidance. And then you start, that's when the learning starts. But I think that people are really afraid to wing it and to take that chance initially. And you kind of have to, because you're gonna suck at it at
Yeah,
first
you
if you're in
don't
a
know what you
transition.
don't know. You don't know what you don't know yet, and so,
Yeah.
unless you fail. And I think that I had heard in another podcast that a family, they used to sit down after a day and say, "Oh, how did you fail today? What was your failure of the day?" Instead of being like, "Oh, what was your accomplishment? What was your highlight? What was this?" They're like, "Oh, what did you try and fail at?" Because they wanted to reframe it in their children's brain that failure is the goal. And I
Yeah.
think that what's crazy is like in society, we don't, like we are reaching for perfection and you'll fall somewhere underneath. No, if you reach for failure and you reach for like trying crazy things and failing with the new fancy fail forward, you will learn and you will put yourself out there and then you're going to figure out what the hell you're capable of. And that's
Right.
what you're capable of because now you're responsible for it. You're
And
responsible.
that is, you're responsible for your own education in that moment, that because you are learning in that moment. And I think that that's when we've like totally fucked over the education system by, No Child Left Behind and all this testing. We're just going to test and test and test and drill these things into somebody's head to where it leaves zero room for creativity and problem solving. And that there's a black and there's a white, and this is how you do it, this is how you shouldn't do it. And it's like, well, that's not how it works. That's not. And then I think that's why we're so scared as adults to go into a situation and wing it and go, I'm gonna have to figure this out on the fly. Because for your entire life and for my entire life, we have been in classes, or we have been in practices where we are told, this is how we're going to do it, this is how you should do it, and this is how you do it well, and you're not doing it well enough, so you lose. And it is so black and white. And like I totally agree with you. I love competition too. I like competition within myself though. And if I can have a badass month with this company, I feel like $1,000,000. I've already won. Nobody can tell me any differently. It's just I like totally went off on this tangent. Point is that being afraid to wing it, being afraid to learn and to take that initiative to learn by yourself is really hard because of what we're taught at such a young age.
Yeah, and that's the resistance. That's what I mean.
Yep.
It's not the actual doing, it's that
Yep.
resistance of change. I mean, man, we could talk about that for hours on hours on hours. And I
I
think
have a lot of opinions, so yes.
absolutely. And I think that we've also both gone through lots of different types of transitions in life.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm so grateful that you took this time out with me.
Oh my gosh. I'm so grateful that I just not only that I finally got to like talk to you, but that you found me worthy enough to bring on to this. Truly. Like,
Let me put it this way. Recognize that there are people who watch your story and watch what you're doing and watch the love that you I mean, I've just sat back and admired you. And like you said, like you make it look easy and you're saying it is easy, but I know that starting a business is hard because I've done it. But I love your message and I love what you're doing and I of course you're worthy of this. Of course you are.
the emotional thank you.
Of
Um,
course.
hopefully worthy of that praise.
Nope. As women
I
who
won't let you down.
yes, no, you take it and you go, I am worthy. Say it, I am worthy. I want to hear
I
it.
am worthy. I am worthy.
You really are.
That's really awesome and sweet of you because I too in this like genuinely just have wanted to meet you and talk to you and I put you on a pedestal as well because of all the things that you have gone through and you have done and you just kind of seem like that kind of person that like starts something and it just works out. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do it. But that's what it seems like when we all know, of course, it's not easy. But I mean, what is easy nowadays, you know?
Right.
We just do it.
Absolutely
We
zero
just do
things.
it.
Zero things. And then you add motherhood on top of that, and zero other things are easy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, but so worth it.
So worth it.
So it truly, and it's stupid again to say, but it's so worth it.
So worth it. And I know I feel so mushy sometimes, but like I'm truly excited to meet my kid because she's different every day, but I'm truly excited to meet her. And that's it's nothing to be to scoff at. I just think that we also understand the importance of motherhood and we understand how much we can affect the future through our
Yeah.
children, and that's something that I don't know that like former generations were just trying to get through, but now we have so much education based on how we talk to our kids, we become their inner voice, all these things, and we're very hyper aware now.
Yeah.
And I think that's also where the appreciation for motherhood comes from. We're like, man, we could be raising the next freaking president, we can be raising the next, you know, I don't know, life changing woman. But I know I'm raising a ball buster, that's for sure. She's
Hell
already
yeah.
she's already busting lots of balls. But
Good.
I'm excited.
I mean, I love that. Like let them speak their mind. I want if you're gonna say something back to me, like say it with your chest. Let's talk about it. Like,
Let's go.
I mean, this whole like, you have to treat me with respect bullshit. Like, no, listen, let's if you have something really to say, I want you to be able to say it. And not be afraid of somebody telling you no. Like, I mean, I'm gonna have a conversation with you afterward but it's not no.
The other
I'm
day,
confident enough in myself to go like, oh, okay, let's talk.
my friend the other day was laughing at me because my kid was like about to have a hissy fit. Like, just you can tell she's about to throw things and do the things. And I'm like, do you need attention right now? And she goes, yeah. And my friend just started cracking up because that's what I say. Like, I'm like, hey, right now, these feelings, you just feel you feel neglected. You want attention. Like, if the faster you can recognize that, you'll be able to walk up to me and be like, I need attention right now, woman. Like, give me, but you're going to learn it right now.
You know, when she's even about to like break down and have like a moment, Derek and I both will at the same time go, take a deep breath and just stare at her and like be there, make eye contact, get down on her level and be like, yeah, sounds like what you're going through sucks right now. Totally. And then we'll say, do you want a hug? And immediately it's a hug. And then she's fine. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
We're good. We're nailing this parenting thing.
I can't get her to do the deep breath through her nose, but it's coming. She goes through her.
That's called lion's breath in yoga. It's very cathartic. I love it.
Oh, I loved this. And I am, again, just really, really grateful you took this time out. And
I'm so grateful. You have no idea. So thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And let's like not make this just a podcast thing. Let's like talk again.
please, and we're going to get Linz on here and we're going to have so much freaking fun.
Let's fucking do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Oh, it would be trouble. So that was my amazing conversation with Emily Butler, and I had so much fun talking with her. I hope you got some nuggets of awesomeness out of there. And I hope you tune in next week. Subscribe, like it, rate it, do all the things. I love ya. Go tell someone they're awesome today. Bye.